Are you wondering about problems that can pop up when you're getting ready to close on a home? Well, that's what we're talking about today, so let's dive right in. My name's Harry Moore, and I'm a realtor in the Washington, D.C. metro area. I help people buy and sell homes with a focus on personal service tailored to each client's needs. Today, I'm going to talk about the things that can crop up prior to closing and what you can do to avoid these issues. And we're going to start way back when the seller is signing the listing agreement. When I started working as a real estate agent, the contract was 5 or 6 pages long, and there were a couple pages of disclosures and addenda, and that was about it. Not anymore. I have a kind of a simple way of looking at what has happened. Somehow, sometimes somebody sued someone, and it happened enough times that they added language to the form, and in many cases they added a whole new form to address the situation. One document that falls into that category is the inclusions and exclusions disclosure. This lays out what does and doesn't convey with the house at settlement. The seller fills this out when they're going through the listing paperwork, and it's really important to make sure that all the information is correct. I also ask the sellers if there are any other items that might be attached to the house or part of the property that should be addressed. Once the document's complete, it becomes part of the disclosure packet that's given to the buyers. They review it and sign it and return it with the offer, and then it becomes an addendum to the contract. It's a detailed checklist for the seller to complete. It includes things all the way from the refrigerator down to the garage door remote, and most of the stuff in between. In the opening paragraph, they address the heating, cooling, and plumbing systems, as well as lighting fixtures and even the sump pump. When I walk into a house as a listing agent, and if there are any unusual or particularly interesting lighting fixtures, I always ask the sellers whether those are going to stay or not. Grandma's chandelier can be an emotional thing for some people. If they say they want to take the lights, they sometimes suggest that we put a "does not convey" tag on it. I usually ask that they remove the lighting fixtures and install a replacement prior to putting the house on the market. The fewer distractions, the better. One thing that sometimes trips people up is window treatments. Shades and blinds are addressed in the initial paragraph, but window treatments are on the checklist. I had a closing years ago where one of the sellers and their kids had made some curtains, and they'd taken them down when they'd moved out. They were sentimental. I was working with the buyers, and when we did the walkthrough, we noticed they were gone. Other than that, the house was in really nice shape, and when I called the listing agent, she shared the story with me about the drapes. And my buyers were okay with letting the sellers keep them, given the circumstances, but it could have really gotten messy. Here's something else that happened a few years ago when I was working with some buyers. There was a sculpture in the front yard. It was in the middle of a beautiful bed of flowers and shrubs, and it fit right into the landscaping. As we were sitting together writing the offer, we went through the inclusions and exclusions, and my buyers started talking about the statue. It wasn't listed on the form one way or the other. So I called the listing agent and we got clarification. The statue stayed. Whew. This form has grown over the years to include video doorbells and backup generators. I guess that somebody tried to take one of those things with them when they moved. Recently, our local board of realtors developed a whole form to address solar panels. It used to be just a checkbox. Well, actually, years ago, there was nothing on there. Then it was a checkbox. Now it's graduated to a 2-page form of its own. There are so many different possible scenarios with solar panels: leased, financed, owned outright, and it's certainly a major system that's worth tens of thousands of dollars. So you know that someone sued someone. If you'd like to see more videos about the home buying process, click here. If you're interested in selling, you can check out my sellers playlist there. Or if you'd like to subscribe to my channel, click over here. If you have any questions, please put them in the remarks and I'll get right back to you. Thanks for watching and stay safe.